As long as I stand like this, none of you can tell that something is up. So Travis, you seem to be moving kind of lethargically at the moment. Let's just have a look at that. Come to me, boy. The poor creature's got the case of the old lagingitis. Look at him. He's not moving fluidly at all. Although it seems like I've got it as well. Look at these blocks breaking. There is some serious lag in this world right now. Do you remember at the end of last episode when I said I was going to breed the sheep off camera in preparation for today's episode where we make a villager breeder? And I said I'm not going to breed too many of them. We don't need loads. We just need enough for, I don't know, 20 or 30 beds. I never gave a specific number of beds, but, you know, I said we didn't need that many. Yeah, that didn't quite work out. I couldn't seem to stop. I'll be honest, they're not living any sort of quality of life. I don't normally make predictions, but in this case, I feel like I can quite safely predict that this copper axe is not going to be enough to take care of all of them, because I am going to kill all of them here and now. So I made 10 copper axes, excluding the one we already had, which is about a third left of a tool, so I'm not really going to count that one. We're going to see how many of these we can kill. I sort of kind of want to leave Travis out, because I feel like if he doesn't get crushed to death from entity cramming, I will probably kill him with my axe. Accidental, of course, accidental. I almost don't want to open this gate, but like once I do, there's no going back. Here they come. Not as many as I thought. I thought they'd all spill out in... Oh, no, they are starting to come out into there now. Because there are so many sheep, it doesn't always pick up the sound of the axe, so it'll pick it up that time. Did you see that? Not that time. That time. Not that time. That time. Not that time. Not that time. Not really that time. That time. There's just so many in here that even the sounds are lagging out. I've actually ran out of inventory space before I managed to kill all of the sheep. I'm really surprised. I thought by now at least half of them would have gone, but they look just as chocker as they first did when I first pulled up with my 8 or 9 or 10 axes. My inventory is completely full of the stuff, and in all honesty I haven't even left the first double gate system entrance. But yeah, there's still so many of them. We haven't even dented them. I will say it has made a difference though. Travis is walking normally again. Come on, Travis. There we go. He's not lagging out. He's smooth again. So just taking out like, I don't know, 8 on... I don't want to say 8 or 900, but however many sheep we took out has made a big difference already. Even if we do have the world's population of sheep still left to kill. Well, a wandering trader has made his way in. Poor bugger. He's going to get crushed to death himself. And what's he got to offer? He's got birch saplings. Ooh, mangrove propagules. I mean, they're a really annoying tree to chop down, but I would like one. Here's some emeralds we got from our first episode. 8 of them. So it's only enough for 1 mangrove propagule. I can't remember how much the birch sapling was. Was that another 5? In which case I can only buy the 1 sapling. Birch I'm not really that fussed about because they're a really common tree. The mangrove, however, that is a high priority item. Right, where is it? Yeah, so the birch is 5. The mangrove, that's what we want. Oh yeah, we can now have redwood. Is there anything else I want to buy here? Not really. No one can see his corpse. And then there was one. Can't imagine the terror that must be going through his mind after seeing his father, his mother, his brother, his sister, his colleagues, his friends, his relatives, his acquaintances, if I've already said that, his enemies. Every one of them die before his eyes. And you know what? I sort of want him to stay. I got attached to him. I'm going to call him Gary the Sheep. He survived the Great Massacre of 2025. Oh, and here's Gary's father and mother and brother and sister and acquaintance and enemy. Well, you get the idea. Here they all are. They're all here. And we're not going to go hungry anytime soon. And here's all the wool we got from them, just from killing them as well. We could have got more if we'd cheered them, but I didn't want to have to deal with that many sheep on a regular basis. If I want to set up a wool farm, I'll either do it somewhere else, or devote a layer to them like we did with the trade hall. The trade hall that had 0 trades so far and no villagers. And that's probably what you're expecting me to do now, seeing as I have said this episode is going to be about getting a villager breeder set up. But no, it's not. Ooh, copper. Okay, slight distraction break. Let me just get the ores from around the area. But as I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself, no, that's not what's going to happen. Instead, I'm here for something else. Don't get me wrong, villagers are still on the cards, but there's a job I want to do just before we get to the villagers. And we're going to have to find them, if I haven't wiped them off the face of the earth, because I'm not seeing any whatsoever. I've had to go really far afield to find these guys because all of the others seem to have vanished, but I'm out here again for cows. Thanks, Wandering Trader. Leather's such a useful item, and it's something we're going to need a lot of. I'm thinking for item frames predominantly, and for books. I just want to say again, lovely mountains, by the way. Here you go, guys. Welcome to your new home. Yeah, exactly. Life of luxury. Well, make yourselves comfortable. You're going to be here for a little while. Also, don't listen to what Gary says. He's a nice guy, but he's got some really weird stories that are completely fabricated. I'm telling you, the guy's not quite right in the head. Just make me that promise. You're not going to listen to what he says. Oh yeah, Gary, you got some new roommates. Yeah. No. Don't worry. No, they're not the talkative type. You don't need to talk to them. I insist. Don't talk to them. Oh, come on, Travis. Yeah, you didn't see that. Yeah, this is awkward. I'm leaving. Come on, Travis. Man, you make things so difficult for me, mate. Alright, with that hiccup out of the way, we can now head off to get villagers. Well, not quite. We've got some prep work to do before we can grab the villagers. And part of that prep work, I know it's going to sound kind of weird, is to get a load of dirt again, like we did on episode 2. Let me explain to you why I want all this dirt. So here I am in the village and I want to capture a few, right? What I would usually do is, say this guy for instance, put him in a boat and then I'd row him to where I need him to be. Which in this instance, because our island is this way, there's our island, our magnificent empire, I'd row him down here, down the terrain, all the way down to the sea. And then once we're in the sea, we'd row to, I don't know, a platform or something I'd set up, which let's just use this as an example. So say this is our platform for a villager breeder. I would have set out a load of beds and begin breeding them. Bish bash bosh, and then from there, take them to where I need to take them, which would be a trade hall. However, the thing is, this is Y level 63 at sea level. Our trade hall is Y level 64, so one block higher. Honestly, it's not really an inconvenience at all, but because I'm so adverse to taking villagers up blocks, because of how much of a pain they are to transport, even that one block is going to be a bit of a pain. So it just means our villager breeder is going to be one block above sea level. Completely over dramatic, yes I know, because really it's not that difficult to move them about. They just annoy me, they get on my nerves. That's all I'm going to say. So yes, I will go through the trouble of making an entire breeder and platform and little dirt temporary road to transport them along that I'm going to have to take down anyway at some point, just so I don't have the slight minor inconvenience of getting them up one block. I know I could even get a minecart and minecart rail and take them to it, but I just don't want to spend the iron. No, my wolf was impaled by a drowned. Travis. It's an absolute travesty. I hate them so much. He's drowned. I've lost Gary, I've lost Travis this episode. What's this world coming to? Now that Travis had died, I had to stop what I was doing. I'm heading away from the island with a quick diversion to a Minecraft forest to get some birchwood. I wanted it for signs and get some saplings while I was here. By the way, very quick tangent. Video settings, graphics, fancy. There we go. I've done it. Yeah, they look nice. That's for you in the comments. You know who you are. And then head high up into the mountains. Now I'm going to flatten part of the terrain. And this is where we're going to build a monument in remembrance to Travis. There we go. In memory of Travis. Episodes 2 to 4. It's hard to see because there were clouds in the way. But this right here is for all to see. That Travis was a valued member of society. As tragic as the news of Travis was, we still do need to make progress. We can't slow down, and so back at the villager breeder platform, I'm pretty sure this is going to be large enough for the villagers. The trade hall will accommodate up to 64 villagers, and I'm pretty sure we can get 64 beds in here quite easily. Now we've got to join the platform to the mainland with some elitist engineering, which is a dirt bridge, and then we're going to put that same engineering skill to the test with another bridge, this one from the breeder area over to the trade hall. It's not pretty, but For a temporary structure, it doesn't need to be. Emphasis on the temporary. Also, I'm trying to make sure it's my business to continuously breed the cows. As crazy as it might sound, I'm going to aim for numbers similar to the sheep. Before I get villagers in place, I want to get fences in place, because you know what villagers are like, they have a mind of their own, they're going to want to escape, and I don't want that. That's in their best interest maybe, but it's not in my best interest. In fact, no, scrap that, it's not in their best interest. Why would they not want to be stuck in a little hole for the rest of their lives, endlessly trading and listening to their colleagues complain? That doesn't sound like heaven, I don't know what does. The last thing we do before we can finally go and grab the villagers is to craft the beds, and I've got all the materials on me for making 64 beds, so if I just type in the old bed, and then we can start placing them in the breeder. Because they're all of equal status, I'm making sure they all get white beds, none of them get a different colour, they all get the same colour, none of them have preferential treatment, none of this red bed or blue bed nonsense, nah, they all get white. I mean, it does give off POW camp sort of vibes, but I can assure you, they're going to love it. I mean, they're sleeping under the stars, what's not to love? What's not to love? I feel like that's the phrase I'm just going to keep using to justify my actions towards the villagers to make them do what I want. Alright, fresh day. I think we all know what that means. It's finally villager time. Our first volunteer. Yes, look at that. You know what, buddy? Let's break your composter. You don't deserve to work for anyone other than myself, that is. Let's go. I'm going to tell you, mate, you're going to love it. It's an amazing place. I mean, you have all the opportunities ahead of you. The world's really your oyster. Honestly, stick with me. You're going to be going places. Yeah, you can bring your friends and family. That's fine. I'll go back. What's your name? Barry. All right, I'll give them your recommendation. Absolutely. That's all right, isn't it? Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good. No, you can trust me. Did you know I once was able to keep about 1,000 sheep all at once? Yeah, I took really good care of them. Yeah, really good care of them. And I can assure you, you're going to get the exact same treatment. He absolutely loves it. I can just tell. It's a complete coincidence that he just keeps walking back and forth next to these gates. Surely he's not going to try and escape, right? No, you didn't see anything. So I've just been talking to Barry and he said you'd be great for a new venture that we're setting out on. Yeah, he was speaking very highly of yourself. He said to me you've got all the skills readily available that we're going to need. Yeah, no word of a lie. Barry said you'd be great. Yeah, let's go and see him, sure. Not you, on the other hand. No one wants you. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just saying my goodbyes to some people. Now, I know you guys are family members and it's going to be kind of awkward and weird, but I'm really going to need you guys to procreate. We have a lot of beds to fill. Alright, I'll just leave you to it. Bye guys. So yeah, it might not look it, but those two guys are going to be the start of our empire. Although having said that, I'm not completely clueless. I do know I'm going to have to give them a helping hand, and that's going to be in the form of bread. Because everyone knows, a good loaf of bread means you can breed. Shh. Don't think about it being your relative. That's right. Yes. My job is done. So now with our growing population of cows and growing population of villagers, we're going to have to hit the crops, which has predominantly just become wheat fields, plus like a line of potatoes and our sugar cane. This wasn't by accident by any means, because I knew I was going to be wanting to get villagers on the go and cows and sheep. And so because of that, what do they need? Like I was saying before, a lot of wheat. Villagers obviously wheat for the bread. I will tell you right now, that is not a quick crop farm to harvest, let me tell you. That took the better part of an hour just to do that. However, I will say the results is pretty good. I mean, we've got a full large chest of wheat plus, almost a couple of lines. So we definitely get a lot back from it, which is good because I don't want to have to keep harvesting it. And while the wheat's on my mind, I might as well pay the cows another visit. They're growing in number. We've got quite a good little group here. But for us to get a population that rivals the sheep, we're going to need a lot of wheat. The villagers aren't doing too bad either. On a stack of bread, they've managed to increase their numbers to what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And that's only the beginning. Let's give these guys a couple of stacks. Nice. There'll be about 20 or so soon. And an iron gone. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm so tempted just to punch him. Actually, I think my reach is better than his. We're going to do nothing. Nice. Thank you. Now, I've been thinking what villages we want for the trade hall. It's not going to be a fully extensive trade hall because we only have the 64 slots. I say only like it's not a lot. It is. But, for a fully extensive villager trade hall, you can go to the hundreds. Let's be honest. So I think for this corner, let's say one corner, we're going to have farmers. So we've got 16 villagers devoted to farming. Over here, we'll probably have fletchers just because they're easy to trade with. It's a good way to get emeralds. Over in this corner, we'll probably have librarians, just because they're a really useful villager. We can get glass, name tags, enchanted books, all manner of good stuff from them. And then in this corner, the final corner, I think I'm going to have it as a miscellaneous corner. For villagers, I'm not going to want 16 of. So masons we'll probably have a fair few of. We'll probably have like, I don't know, maybe this one wall will be masons. Then we'll have maybe a toolsmith, maybe 2 toolsmith, a weaponsmith, a armorer, a cleric, maybe a couple of clerics, then a shepherd and something else. I'm not sure. That's sort of the lineup I've been thinking of. And then obviously in time we'll be able to bring zombies into this section and hopefully zombify them from behind. Although we've got to wait for these guys yet first. I mean, I could start taking villagers now, but I don't want to, because the more villagers we have in here, the quicker they breed, the quicker we can get a population up to speed. Whereas if I keep taking them so we've only got 2 at a time, it's just going to be a hassle. It's going to take too much time. It's just going to slow down the process, or at least I think it will. So I'll probably go semi-AFK. I say semi-AFK because I will have to keep coming on like every, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. And then once they stop breeding, this place should be maxed out. Every bed in this place should have a villager, and we will be able to transport them over to the trade hall. I'll also be continuing to breed the cows as well, so we should at least double or triple their number by the time you next see them. Alright, I'm back. Here are all my inmates. Every bed is now full. 64 villagers primed and ready to go. They're all adults as well. Not a single baby in here. They've grown up, they've had time to mature, and now they're going to be heading over to their destiny. Actually, not quite now, because I need to do a little more prep work before I can take the villagers over there. But now we have the villagers on site, which is very cool. You can also see in my hotbar we have more than a stack of iron that we gained from iron golems. But that's not all, because in this chest right here, we have another stack of iron. So we actually gained more than 2 stacks of iron just from killing iron golems. Oh, and I should probably show this because I haven't shown this either. So this is my AFK house. Let me come over here, change the perspective. Yeah, this is my AFK house. The dirt on the roof isn't because of a creeper explosion. It's because I ran out of glass. Someone in the comments said I should probably learn how to texture, and it's evident I've taken that on board with this structure. How the glass goes to the dirt and the dirt back to the glass. Yeah, it blends in so nicely. As for the cows, they're not crazy numbers. They have definitely increased in population, and I did think about really pushing them. So if you're expecting sheep level of numbers just yet, you'll probably be slightly disappointed. There are tons in there. However, I did remember that we did go to Lag City when all those sheep were there, so I thought if we are taking a trip down to Lag City, might as well do it after we've got the villagers from over there into our our new home for them over here. So that now brings us back to the trade hall, and before we can get villagers in here, I do want to do a slight bit of prep work. The first bit of prep work is to make sure I have enough trapdoors for them. You're probably thinking, why trapdoors? Well, it's because if you put a trapdoor by their cubbyhole, say, so this is the stair block, there's their job site block, they're stood right here loving life, they can't really see much, the blinkers are on, they're in the race, and I'm like, oh, there's someone there, it's Juice, comes around, oh, he's traded with me, my day's been amazing, and that's about as far as their day goes. However, they may still have the delusional thought that they want to get out of this reality. So what are they going to do? They're going to turn around and head this way. Now, it's just placing a block there would solve that. However, I don't want a block there. I'm going to put a trapdoor there so I can still go underneath like this. However, when they're in, I can't show because they're not here, but when they're in, they won't be able to do this. And it has like a sort of minimalistic look to it, even though it's definitely not minimalistic looking at this place. That's the first thing I wanted to do. The second thing I wanted to do is to get the job site blocks in. So first is going to be the composters. Next are the fletching tables. The next is supposed to be lecterns, but we don't have enough leather, so some premature killing of the cows needs to happen. And look at how calm they still are. I don't think any of them really noticed or understood what was going on. So it looks like my hours of forcing them to watch TikTok has paid off. They've developed brain rot. That now meant we can put in the lecterns. And then the variety of blocks remain in for the last 16 villagers. And from the looks of it, the staircase looks low enough that I can probably start joining these walkways together. Let's have a look. I can just about get under. That's good news. So that's just going to make things a little bit easier. I'll worry about decorating them in time. For now, they do the purpose, which is to join all of them up. In fact, once the staircase goes back far enough, I could probably join the entire sections to each other and like house maybe like 1 or 2 more villagers, depending on how the dimensions work out. Let me just talk you through what villagers we're going to get. I know I've already sort of talked you through when I was doing the brainstorming for what villagers we're going to go in, but now that we've got the job site blocks in place, we've sort of committed to the villagers that I've chosen. Alright, so this corner we have the farmer wing. So 16 composters for 16 farmers. Over in this corner we have the lecterns, 16 of them, just like the composters, for 16 librarians. Here is the miscellaneous corner. So we have, I believe, 7 stone cutters for 7 masons. We have a loom for a shepherd. We have 3 smithing tables, which some people would think is overkill for 3 toolsmiths, but quite often with my luck, I don't get a villager with a pickaxe, a shovel, and an axe like Diamond. I often get like a pickaxe and shovel, maybe another pickaxe and shovel, and I'll have to go for like a 3rd one to get an axe. Some people would just be like, well, just keep redoing the trade until you get a perfect one. I can't be fussed with that. Then we've got a grindstone for a weaponsmith. We have a blast furnace for an armourer. We have a cartography table for a cartographer. I only got the single one. Fun fact, when I first started playing in Minecraft, cartographers used to be my favourite villager because of the glass pane trade. I believe it's 11 glass panes for 1 emerald or something like that. I used to spawn in deserts quite frequently, so I could just smelt a ton of sand and then trade it with the cartographer for a lot of money. Back in the early days of my trade hall, of all the villagers just roaming around freely and not being stuck in one position, man, those were not the days. And then these 2 final places are reserved for clerics. The final corner is devoted just for Fletchers, 16 of them, just like with the farmers and the librarians. I like Fletchers because once you zombify and cure them, their stick trade, although it's expensive at the start, is really, really good for getting a lot of money. Now, some of you may have noted we don't have things like leatherworker, fishermen, butchers, those sort of villagers, and you know what? There is a reason. It's on purpose, because I don't like those villagers. I don't think they're particularly worthwhile. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't. There's also a particular order in what villagers I employ first. I don't want to start with, I don't know, let's say a librarian, for instance, and then I have no emeralds to trade with him to level him up, or to lock him into a trade if it's something like a mending book or an efficiency 5 book. It won't be an efficiency 5 book. I never get efficiency 5 books, but it might be a mending book, and that would be sad times. So what I'd rather do is get something like, I don't know, a farmer, and with all our crops we've had, be able to trade some of those crops for money and then use that money for other villagers to lock them into trades or to level them. There's also a no pillager policy, so these guys have got to go. The final thing before I get villagers, I'm just going to widen this doorway because there's no way they're going to be able to get through. Well, the villager will, the boat won't. So it seems with that out of the way and everything else out of the way, it seems we can finally get on with bringing villagers over one by one. Oh yeah, progress is happening. Welcome in, buddy. This is your new home. I remember when I brought your parents down from the local village. Yeah, they loved it. And they've been loving it ever since. That's not what they said. Don't listen to them. Just don't listen to them. Oh, hey. The bread and potato trade. Okay. Hang on, matey. Got some potatoes. There we go. I'm only going to trade the once. That will lock him in to that trade. And now we have our first villager. I'm over here. Yeah, look at you. Our first villager. What? Sorry, when do you go home? This is your home. Yeah, that's right. See, he seemed excited. Let's see how the others fare. So this is what I'm going to be doing until the entire trade hall is filled up. So I'm probably just going to fast forward this bit so you don't have to watch it. I know some of you wouldn't mind, but for the majority of people, I think it's going to be better doing it like this. I will return once they're all in place. Doing that has reminded me why I hate interacting with villagers so much. Well, maybe not interacting with them, just moving them. Man, they're so painful. And you might also notice that we have some new armor, chainmail. There's quite a bit to talk about, so I'll go through it. Well, firstly, you might notice that my levels are 47 and I was up to what? I can't remember what I was up to last time. 71, 72, 73, something like that, right? That's because while you'd think, this is quite nice and safe over here, this walkway around here, from the villagers over there to my trade hall, well, no, it turns out every time it turns night, and sometimes even during the daytime, there seems to be trident drown that was spawned. Hey, look, here's one right here. Here's the leftover. Bloody heck. Right, they're coming over. Yeah, they're spawning all the time, and they're doing that to me. Oh wow, there he is. Point proven. Yeah, it was really annoying. Every time night rolled around, as it has done now, and I was transporting villagers across to the trade hall, one of them always seemed to spawn in and would either kill me or the villagers, and yeah, extremely frustrated. It almost is like there's a tried and drowned spawn buff going on or something, because there's like abnormal amounts spawning in. Are you kidding me? Also, my AFK hut is home to this little guy down here. Pretty cool. He just seems to have taken resident. Basically, he escaped. He escaped his fate over there, and then he just came and hung out in here, and he hasn't moved since. And you know what? I'm now opposed to moving him. He just seems to be living the quiet life, just by himself, enjoying things. He hasn't left. He entered the place, and he hasn't walked out since. He's got his chest. Obviously, these are my chests. No wheat whatsoever now. I'll get to that in a bit. Crafting table, bed. What more could a guy want? As for over here... Oh, what the... Wow. I forgot I killed a villager or two. They were getting on my nerves. Oh, I made it back in one piece. Nice. Oh, almost one piece. I got slain by an iron golem again. Are you kidding me? See, this has been my experience, and this is why I've sort of put all the blame on the villagers, because through association with them, all of this bad stuff has happened to me. I was fine before I met them. I was loving life, doing my thing. They came along. I've died several times. I'm not a fan of it. Now, where's my gear? Here it is. It's just spread out all over the place. Are they coming for me? They're coming for me again. Are you serious? It was only a few villagers I killed. Okay, maybe more than a few. Also, you'll notice this new sharpness one. So we'll get to that. You know what? We'll get to that. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, there are still a handful of villagers left over here. And that's, well, one, because we had to breed more because a few of them had died, and I'd killed some through, I'll be honest, just frustrations. What the heck is this guy doing? Look at him. There's some serious Shaolin monk neck training going on right there. And also, I've left some out because I haven't taken all the villagers over. Now we're on the topic of the trade hall. Let me talk you through it. Alright, here's the farming section. This section is probably the most leveled section out of all. Well, I mean, it's not probably about it. It just is. So we've got all our farmers here. And we've got, let me see. This one's a journeyman. This one's a journeyman. They're not all journeyman. Some of them are less. Journeyman. Come on, there's got to be someone who's less. Journeyman. Apprentice. There we go, an apprentice. So I've been trading all of our crops. So our carrots, beetroot, wheat. I've basically got no crops left whatsoever, with the exception of the wheat fields, which obviously there's tons of the stuff. So I didn't actually need to save any. I could trade it all away because I knew we'd have an entire farm worth of wheat. And as for the potatoes and carrots, not that chest, where are they? They are, I think, this one. I left a stack of potatoes and a stack of carrots just so we could plant more, but that's all that's left of them. The beetroot was a bit different. I didn't have many, but what I did have, I could trade all of it away because we have the seeds still available, and you can't trade seeds, so we can still get more beetroot. I'm surprised how much money I can make from carrots and potatoes. And the wheat, of course. I almost feel like I should have just made the whole trade hall farmers at this point. The Fletchers, I would have traded more with them, but I just couldn't. I didn't have the sticks available, so I literally would do one trade with them, get their experience up, lock them into the trade, because not all trades are the stick trade, and I wanted every one of them to have the stick trade. So stick trade, stick trade, stick trade, stick trade, stick trade, stick trade. So some of them would have this, the gravel and flint, and some of them would have, where is he, the arrow trade, both of them, and not the stick trade. So I made sure to get the stick trade, and if they didn't have the stick trade, then I would just break this and then replace it immediately. Then it's the miscellaneous variety stage. So we have the masons first. I'll talk you through them. I didn't level them up at all. Again, just like the Fletchers, I just locked them into the trade by trading 1 emerald's worth of bricks. Again, yeah, all literally just lock them in, even though I don't think their trades change. I think it is always the same trade, right? But I just wanted at least to get one trade on the board. Now, the cartographer, I did trade a little bit more than the masons because we have access to a lot of sugarcane. That gives us a lot of access to paper, and that paper we could trade from, I don't know what he is, novice level all the way up to journeyman. And now I can get a Savannah village map, don't care, and a trial explorer map. That's a bit more interesting. But again, it wasn't really worth coming over here too often for this guy because the farmers were closer. The shepherd, I traded up a little bit. I made sure to get the shears trade because I didn't have all these wool, unless if I got white wool, which I didn't, of course, and so I got shears trade. And if I didn't get the shears trade, I just, again, like what I was saying before with the Fletcher with the stick trade, I would literally just break the loom, replace it, and just wait until we get this, and we did. And so I've got about, I don't know, 10, 11 shears or however many upstairs. The weaponsmith, yeah, of course I'd get this. What I want extortionate trade. I mean, I did think about resetting him, but I thought, I don't care enough to do that when it comes to the weaponsmith. So yeah, as you can see, I bought the one iron sword, which is this one in my hotbar down here, and I just left it at that. I might trade coal later on. I just don't have access to that much coal, but by the time I do have access to that amount of coal, you know, to get him to apprentice level and beyond just on coal, I probably will have got enough emeralds to trade the swords. I'm rambling. Okay, we'll come back to the armor because that's something I want to talk about. The clerics, as you can see, they're enjoying their stay here. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we don't have brewing stands yet. We haven't been to the nether, so they are still not here. The toolsmiths, I managed to trade them. I bought all the stone axes, got them to apprentice level. Haven't traded any of the iron yet because I wanted to do that on camera. Same with that one and this one. Just bought all the axes. Now the armorer was a little different. I thought it was going to be similar to this guy. I thought I was just going to get him to apprentice level and that would be it, but no. First trade, iron boots. We got all the way up to, yeah, well, we leveled him up to the next level. Then the next one was chainmail boots, which have I got any on? I haven't, no, because I've got these, so I didn't really need them. So I bought this until it was the next level, and then that gave him a reduced cost of the chainmail chestplate and chainmail helmet. So I bought them to level him up, which is what we've got on now. I look kind of funny, kind of like an assassin, an iron assassin, that's me. And now he will sell us diamond armor. And again, it was the same case of the toolsmith. I didn't want to level him up. I didn't want to buy the diamond armor off camera. I wanted to wait until I was on camera again. That leaves the librarian section. As you see, it's empty. I also put these trapdoors in at the front, and I'll tell you why. So before we get to that, why are librarians not here? Because one, they're going to be expensive. If I am searching for good enchants, like 16 good enchants, right? Because we're going to have 16 villagers in this section. Knowing my luck, all of the prices are going to be really expensive. I don't have the money for that at this stage. I mean, I do have quite a bit of money from the farmers built up in my storage over there, wherever it is. However, even I know it's not going to be enough money to lock like 16 librarians worth of trades in so they don't change. So what I did instead was focus on the one librarian, which is funny I'm saying that because there's 3 here. But what I figured, okay, I'm going to get one librarian, and he's going to have mending, and I'm going to ignore all other enchants. That didn't quite happen because the first guy came and he had infinity, and I figured, I like infinity. I'm an infinity bow user. A lot of people are mending. I like infinity on bows. You can't change my mind. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. And so I figured that is a trade I want. So I'm going to keep that. And it's only 11 emeralds. So it wasn't like I was hurting the bank. The next guy, all right, this guy for sure was going to be a mending librarian. I wasn't going to accept any other enchant apart from mending. No, I accepted fire aspect too. And I don't think that's a particularly good price. But again, it wasn't breaking the bank. And I like fire aspect 2 on the sword. And I figured I'm going to probably search for it later. And knowing my luck, I'll probably not be able to find it later on. So I figured it's here. I might as well do it. So I just bought the one book, and yeah, one book there. And then the third guy, I was like, this guy, this time it's ridiculous. I'm not stopping. And I didn't stop until I got a mending library, an awful price, 34 emeralds. But again, with zombie villagers and curing them, we can do all that later and bring this price down. For the time being, I was just more concerned with getting a mending book. So we've now got a mending librarian, and again, I just bought the one to lock him in. Now, as far as my iron goes, I've got quite a bit in amongst different chests. So if I get all that, and I'm going to take them over to the toolsmith and armourer. However, despite having to have said that, I'm just going back to the librarian section because there was one thing I said I was going to explain that I haven't explained. So as you can see, I've got these trapdoors up front, and I said I was going to explain about them. So as you can see, the other villagers don't have the trapdoors on the front, and that's really for the simple reason that I like the lecterns to face towards the villagers, so it looks like they're reading off of them. However, what I was doing with all the other villagers, if I had a trade I didn't like, I would place the block, say here, and if it didn't give me the trades, I would take it out and replace it. That would reset their trades. However, you know, with a composter, it doesn't matter which way it's facing, it always looks the same. With a lot of these blocks, it doesn't matter which way they're facing, they pretty much always look the same. Some of them might look slightly different, like the cartography table and I think maybe the fletching table, but it doesn't matter. You know, because it doesn't look off, it doesn't look weird. The lecterns, however, would look weird if it was the other way around. I just felt like that. So what I did is, because this trapdoor here is preventing them from getting out, because they're too high, their massive heads are preventing them, I thought, okay, well, let me put one up front as well, because oftentimes when I'd come in and I'd have to be like this, I'd have to come from this side and place the lectern. So say I was in here with this guy, say I'm in here, and I break this lectern now, let's say. I'm not going to because I want mending to stay. But if I broke that, what would often happen is this guy would then be like, huh, well, I'm off. See you later. And he would go. So it's kind of frustrating. So I put this trapdoor in literally to stop him so that when I did break this, he would just stay in position and then I could just replace the lectern without any hassle. Anyway, yeah, sorry I'm rambling a bit. Mine's all over the place. I think before we do anything else, yeah, these aren't all my emeralds, but this is just a handful of my wealth. I'm going to buy diamond boots and diamond leggings. And I'm going to spend the rest on chainmail helmet because it's going to be easier leveling him to master, spending money on this. And now he should, come on, level up, master, bring it on. Look at that. Chest plate and helmet. And I don't even care what enchants it's got because I'm going to re-enchant them at a later date anyway, so they can come off and, oh yeah. Don't let anyone tell you I don't suit diamond armor. They're not saying that. What? Because no one in your personal life knows about me or recommend me. I'm only joking. You don't have to. And now I've got diamond armor. We need some diamond tools to go with it. So this guy was the first toolsmith I got in here. So I'm going to start with him. Right. And I should really have traded straight away because these were reduced to 3 iron per emerald. But it is what it is. Right. Level you up. Oh, efficiency 3 and unbreaking 3 iron shovel. That's pretty decent, to be fair. And efficiency 2, unbreaking 2 iron pickaxe. Not as good as the shovel, but it's not bad, to be fair. I've seen a lot worse. Let's use some iron in to level you up. Not going to go all the way. I don't care. We'll wait until tomorrow for you. Let's try you. Level this guy up. Alright, what do you offer now? Diamond hoe. That's what I was hoping, because I can buy 3 of them. And then level him the rest of the way with the iron. So now he's going to be a master. What are we going to get? No, he's not. He's going to be expert. Oh, diamond axe and diamond shovel. I think we're going to get diamond pickaxe then on master. Oh, that's amazing. In fact, do I have enough to... This is amazing. I don't have enough. Actually, yes, I do. Come on, master level, give me a diamond pick. Full house. Full house, he gave everything, he was like a perfect one. Diamond hoe, diamond axe, diamond shovel, diamond pickaxe. Oh, that's crazy. We don't even have to level this guy or this guy anymore. I mean, we probably will when it comes to it, but it's not on the priority list now, so let's replace them out. Weaponsmith, I don't care about not having a diamond sword for the time being. I'm going to leave him. Yeah, this feels great. It might not look it to you seasoned veterans out there who are on netherite fully enchanted picks, but for me who's been using countless copper and stone picks, yeah, this is the life. This is the life. I think now, because I'm so excited to use these diamond tools, because, you know, like I've said and as you've seen, I've been struggling with pretty awful tools, I'm just going to spend some time down here in a hole making it deeper. I'll probably keep going until the diamond pick breaks, actually, or is on the verge of breaking, because I don't even know what enchants it's got. Efficiency 2, that's not too actually. Hold your horses. Ruined portal. I'd seen this on my travels while I was killing the animals back in episode 1 or 2. I haven't looted it, but it's got a lot of obsidian here. Still takes ages to break. Let's check the chest while I'm here as well. Lodestones. Now we head back underground to my little tiny mining hub. I'm pretty certain there should be some diamonds down here. Where are you, diamonds? I know you're here somewhere. There we go. Diamonds. Then some bookshelves from the librarian. Then I'll break the bookshelf. 3 books. And we can make an enchanting table, which we're only going to place temporarily. All of this stuff up here, you should keep in mind it's going to be a temporary, because as this hole moves further down, we get more layers. This stuff will just naturally move into there, where we get storage rooms and smelting rooms and all sorts. Right, I've bought a few bookshelves, more than what I need. I'm going to place them around the enchanting table. Now I'm going to do some trading just to up my levels, because it's a great way to get XP. Level 30 achieved. And now I need one more ingredient to this cocktail of innovation. Lapis lazuli. I think you can sort of tell where this is going. Taking my pickaxe at the grindstone, we disenchant it. And now, at the enchanting table, with all the conditions having been met, diamond pick, lapis lazuli, level 30 enchant. What's it going to be? Oh, unbreaking 3, that's what I wanted to see. Efficiency 4, unbreaking 3. That's really good. That's probably as good as we could have hoped for. Oh, that's really good. I'm happy with that. Then we place an anvil. Wham bam there. And now we put mending onto it. The enchantment cost of 2. Mere 2. And now we can have an efficiency 4, unbreaking 3 mending pickaxe. Great stuff. And for getting efficiency 5, all we need to do is get another efficiency 4 pick, combine it with this one, and yeah, we're in business. But now that we have a great pickaxe, that feels like a dream. It really does. It feels like the dreams of a dream. Like before I thought it was a dream, but now this really is the dream. Because this is now a novel experience because of my bad tools before, I'm going to spend a bit of time down here expanding the hole, just making it a bit deeper. And I'll keep going until, well, not this pickaxe break. I'm basically monologuing, and I'm saying the same as what I was saying before. I'm just going to keep going until this pickaxe is on the verge of breaking. I know some of you have been asking for like a 35-hour mining montage, but I don't think now's the time just yet. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get bored of this anytime soon. Alright, so there I was minding my own business. Yeah, that's right, minding my own business. That was a play on words. And there's this wandering trader who's just spawned up here and I can't get to him. And he has melon seeds. Melon seeds. And we haven't actually got any melon seeds yet. So what I'm going to do is head around here. And I don't want to drop all the way down there if I can jump there. Melon seeds, buy them. Yes, please. 12 of the bad boys. Alright, here I am again, and my pickaxe has 1 durability. If I breathe too hard, this thing's going to break. Not too concerned. A little bit of trading will put a little bit of juice back into the thing. Mending goes so hard, it really does. Now, as for the progress on the whole, it's starting to get somewhere. We're now at Y level 50, so quite comfortably below sea level. I hope the villagers aren't scared of heights, because soon this is going to be a big drop. Getting to a point now, if I was to drop down there, it's going to hurt. And it's only going to get worse from here. Soon it'll be fatal levels of damage. Now, as far as my pick goes, with the 1 point of durability left remaining, was it worth spending it all on mining that hole? Yes, because like I said, yes, it's not going to be too hard pumping some XP into that thing and injecting it with restoration magic. I really feel like I've made a substantial amount of progress this episode. Probably the most amount of progress we've made since, well, episode 1, when we first spawned in the world. I think we've really taken it up a notch this episode, and now we're in the big boy leagues of better tools. Won't be long until full netherite, am I right? And fully enchanted netherite at that. Now, I know I said I was going to do the cows this episode, but I think with the amount of breeding I've still got to do, and because I traded all the wheat away to the villagers, I've still got to harvest it all at the farm. And like I said to you near the start of the episode when I did this thing, this is not a quick harvest. No siree. So I think I'm probably going to do what I did between the transition of last episode and this episode with the sheep. Just breed them up off camera, get them ready for killing, and do the same. But this time I'm going to try and go beyond. I'm trying to do even more cows than we had sheep. So next time you see me, my game might be crashing. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye.